listen, I'm about to take this back old school right now. When I say old school, I mean the beginning, before I was adding the little intro music in the beginning, basically. Man, I missed you guys. I have been incognito, if that's the word, whatever word you want to use, probably for about 12 days. I've been extremely sick. Voice has been gone. My taste and smell is still a little off. I don't have COVID. But I wanted to get on this mic. I missed you guys. I had so many people reaching out to me saying, where have you been? Where are you? You just leaving us hanging or whatever. And I was like, man, that's how it is. They fiending to be stroked up like that. So I was like, man, let me get back on this mic or whatever. So, today is going to be a little bit short because, my wind is there, but it's not all the way there, when I'm long-winded and I just shoot off, like a gun. So, but I'm here. I'm here with you guys, man. I truly, truly, truly miss you guys, and I appreciate the love and the support. And, of course, for those of you who are just joining who don't know who this is, you have D-Love on the mic with you today. Welcome back to STROK'D, the art of mental stimulation, where I touch steps of depths that most people aren't willing to go. Oh, yeah, I go there, man. I take it there. It's real. It's raw. I don't hold back. Speak from the heart. I speak from the spirit. I am raw, transparent. I am imperfect. I am flawed. And I get on this mic and I let whatever come up, come out. If God puts something on my heart for any one of you, I do that as well. Man, I'm ecstatic. This situation with me being sick, it taught me about appreciation, being grateful, taking things for granted. We take the small things for granted. The fact that we can speak, the fact that we can walk, the fact that we can hear. These little things, we look at it as trivial things, but it's people who, can't utilize these things. They don't have the luxury of having these things, and, it's been a long time. They never had the luxury. And to us, just like they say people in the U.S., we're spoiled, we're used to things, and we don't stop to take the time to thank God for the things that we deem small, man, because the way I've been feeling, not being able to taste things, not being able to smell, I'm in here like, oh, man, people may have sinus problems who have hygiene issues. They don't, know how they smell or whatever. I take showers and I'm clean, but, I put on some soap that's supposed to be very powerful and I'm supposed to be able to smell it, like just fully clean and you can't smell anything. I was like, wow, so this is real. It's possible. And so, yeah, man, we have to be grateful. We have to, love life, man. Love life and thank God every single day, man. Be humble. We have to be humble. I'm going to be really wordy on here because I haven't been having a chance to talk. I haven't had anyone to talk to. Like, I've been in prison over here, man. People check up on me, but, a lot of people just been, letting me do my thing, letting me heal on my own. I'm happy to be here. God, I'm happy to be here. I am supposed to talk about narcissism this week. It was supposed to be last week. It was supposed to talk about narcissism and, just getting down in it, thinking about it. I have never really had an issue with a narcissist. Is that a thing? I've never really had an issue with a narcissist. I don't want to say I'm a narcissist's worst nightmare, but I'm actually their best friend because I like to pay attention to things and I am very aware of everything. And I have a gift of discernment. I don't miss a beat. I don't miss a breath. I don't miss anything. So someone like me who's very attentive and pay attention to everything, narcissist people, they tend to cling to me and they tend to love me because I have no problem giving that attention that they're looking for or that they need. I have a way of dwelling within people's spirit, becoming one with people. I guess that's that ability to make people comfortable that I have. And so, I never really had a problem with a narcissist person. And it's a lot of people I never really have a problem with because I guess I have the gift of discernment and understanding, which allows me to get down on people's level. Get down on people's level. I have the ability to understand where they're coming from, even when they don't know what's going on. And I'm a realist. So when I'm around a narcissist person, I'm telling this person that, hey, you're a narcissist. You know that, right? I still love you, but you are. That's me. So, I'm non-judgmental and I accept people for who they are. And last episode, last week I did a rerun of an episode that a lot of people wanted to hear, that a lot of people needed to hear. But before that, the episode was about ego. Understanding that, ego is not always bad. You just have to learn how to have the proper balance for it. There's a negative and positive balance for everything. And ego is really good because ego is really when it comes to your psyche, you have the id, the ego, and the superego. Ego is the middle. It's checking the other two, making sure, everything's good and in balance. All right. The id wants instant gratification. Remember, this is a recap because I've been gone. Instant gratification. That's when you gluttony. You can eat. You want it now. I can eat everything in sight because it's good. But ego's checking it like, hey, you're getting fat. Ego checking it, hey, that's not good for you. You're going to be a diabetic or whatever. And then you got the superego who's extra rigid, like the parent, checking you, telling you don't do that. You shouldn't do that. You walking on eggshells. And then it's the ego that's saying, hey, you don't have to be so hard on yourself. Okay, give yourself a little room to breathe or whatever. So, ego's not bad. There's a good and bad aspect of everything. And that is with narcissism as well. It's a good and bad aspect. It's a such thing as healthy narcissism. It's people out there who require a lot of attention, who, they can't live without it. They got to be center of attention. They have to have the world revolve around them. But those people are not always people who have ill intentions. I mean, they give back just as much as they receive. It's like they go into people's spirit. They take over people's spirit. They want you front and center in their life, and they want to make sure all eyes are on them. But, they kind of reciprocate the energy back in the same. I've met people like that, and, really good people, but I still have to tell them, hey, the world doesn't revolve around you. You don't always have to tell a story that has something to do with you when someone else. Give them their moment. Let them shine. That's me. I notice it. But then we got those people that we spoke about when it comes to narcissism, that we spoke about, that it started when they were a kid. And, they're not really aware of that. They're a young child. They're a kid. They didn't have a parent, encouraging them. They didn't have a parent or that type of figure around telling them that they're great, that's helping build their sense of self. They were to themselves. They didn't get a lot of attention, all that type of stuff. So, they didn't develop that sense of self, that sense of ego when they were a kid, when they were younger. So as they got older, they relied on other people to reflect back to them who they are. They don't know who they are. No one told them. Nobody told them they were great, that you're going to be great, you're going to make it. You're handsome, you're amazing, you're all this. They didn't have that around. So, they rely on other people to reflect that back to them because they don't have that for themselves. So, and the narcissism is, it's supposed to be bad, but I don't have a problem with that because they don't know. They don't know. It's the problem comes when they do know. So now that I'm telling you guys, if you are the type of person, you've heard people saying, hey, you're narcissistic, everything's not always about you, everything doesn't revolve around you, you don't always have to put yourself on the forefront and all that type of stuff. Maybe you wasn't aware, but now listen here. I'm talking to you. You're a narcissist, and it probably happened when you were a kid. You didn't know that growing up in that bad environment when no one cared or paid attention to you, no one was around doing all that, you didn't know that affected you. But I'm talking to you now, and I'm telling you that it did. It affected you. It affected you. You did what you had to do. It's like survival mode. You had to build up this picture of yourself so you can get by. On those days you were feeling down and out, and you were feeling a certain type of way, and no one helped you build a foundation for that sense of self to help you out of it. So you had to build this person up that you felt is superior to everybody else. You had to build that person up so you wouldn't be as hurt as much. So you building that persona up is really your defense mechanism of you trying to protect yourself from all the pain. So you telling yourself you don't feel no pain. I'm all that. I got it going on. I'm good to go. Nothing bothers me. Nothing fazes me. That was to protect yourself because you didn't learn any other way. No one told you that stuff when you were younger, so you built this up. I'm telling you now, you've pretended and you played that role for so long that it has become real to you. You coming off as pompous and you coming off as arrogant and all that. But really, you're really that little kid that's still insecure inside. Deep down inside, you're really insecure. You really want love. You really want someone else to see you besides yourself. All right? You really want to be that person that you've built up, to be so big or whatever. And you can be. You can be. I'm here to tell you. You're a narcissist. It doesn't always have to start with you or whatever. Or if it doesn't start with you, you feel like everybody's forgotten about you. No one's thinking about you or whatever. I see you. You're here, You're a human being just like everybody else, and I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry no one built that foundation for you. But you can't walk around hurting other people and making other people feel like they're inferior to you just to make yourself feel good, just so you don't feel that certain type of way. I want to tell you that way that you're trying to stop yourself from feeling, you're inflicting that on other people. So that pain that you felt, that you say you never want to feel again, so you built this persona up so you didn't have to feel it, that's what you're inflicting on that lady that loves you every day. That's what you're inflicting on that man that's right there no matter what, and the pain and the obstacles you're putting them through. That's what you're making them feel. The one thing you're trying to avoid, that you tried to avoid and you built this thing up, the person that's there showing you all the love and showing you they don't care what you've been through and the flaws that you have, that's the pain you're inflicting on them. All right? So if we're saying that maybe you wasn't aware of these things, I'm here to tell you now. That's what they feel. That thing you've been trying to avoid and keep yourself from feeling, you've put yourself as you against the world, because at one point it probably did feel like it was you against the world. You don't have to live your life like that when you got those people right there in front of you that want to love you and they see you for who you are, and it's okay. You don't have to do all that extra stuff, man. You don't have to. Just accept what they are giving you, man. Be who you are. It's okay. That little kid, set that little kid free. All right, let that kid grow up into the adult that's surrounded by love and people that actually love them. And you don't have to hurt people to get love back. You don't have to do outrageous things just to draw attention to yourself, just for people to notice you. Let them notice you for who you are, your character, your heart, the deeds that you do, the talent that you have. You are that talented. You are enough. No one told you that when you were a kid, but you are. We're not always dealt the hand that we think we should have been dealt. But that's what you was given. We older now. We gotta do better. When you know better, you do better. And I'm telling you here now, you did that stuff because you had to. You had to survive. I get it. But stop hurting people. Stop hurting these people around you that want to love you, and stop pushing these people away, because they right there. They are right there. With you treating them like that. If you have people that's loving you and still right there, with you treating them like that, with you acting like they don't matter, with you gaslighting them. When they call out something that you're doing wrong, because you're doing something wrong, it's a flaw. It's a flaw, and it's okay. You're not meant to be perfect. So you're doing something wrong, and this person's telling you about it. So you're saying something in turn to take the light off of you, to point at something to make it about them, like they're the person in the wrong. Stop doing that. Stop doing that, for you have no one around you at all to share that with. That person's still sitting there, they standing strong no matter how much you're abusing them, because that's what you're doing. You're mentally abusing them. And some of you are going as far as physically abusing them, man. Stop that. For you have no one. You're going to be like that old man sitting in front of the liquor store in a few years, or that old lady with nothing but those cats in your house. All right? Stop. It wasn't your fault. The beginning wasn't your fault, but what happens now, it's all on you. Take the reign. See what you're doing to this person. You know that you're doing wrong. You know what you're doing. Stop making it like it's about them, man. Stop gaslighting them. Breadcrumb them, giving them just enough, making people prove that they love you because no one else in your past was around to love you. So now you don't believe it when they're showing it to you right in your face, making them have to go through all these obstacles and all that kind of stuff, man. You're going to be to yourself. Stop. Or you're going to move on to the next supply and do it to somebody else. You think you're getting blessed for corrupting people along the way? Nah. All right. So you want your true blessings. You really want what God has for you. Cut that out, man. Acknowledge that what happened to you wasn't your fault. They put that in you in the beginning, but you can change it now. All right? I'm here to tell you now. No one ever told you it wasn't your fault that you're like that. They just blame you, call you a narcissist and all that. I just taught you what caused it. It wasn't your fault. And even on the flip side for these kids that's, kids that's now adults, that's narcissists, because we have something called, I think they call it enmeshment. When you have a parent that put too much into you, gave you too much attention, it was never a no. That's like most of the kids these days. It was never a no. The answer is always yes, 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 yes. The attention is always on you. The attention is always on you. So like a drug, that's all you ever known. So when the attention is not on you, you think everything's not okay. It's not okay. You're doing something wrong because you're so used to attention being on you. You have a case of narcissism as well. All right, so you're going to have to drop that also. All right, it isn't always about you. You don't have to always be in attention, in the spotlight to feel like you're somebody. You're somebody even without that. You're somebody even when you're behind closed doors and it's just you. All right, the people don't have to be at your beck and call like your mama or whatever to prove that they love you. All right, mama, them, they went too far with that. So you just, we have to recognize, if you know better, you do better. They went too far not telling you no. A lot of them were putting things that they had in their childhood, they put it off into you because, a lot of parents had lack and they didn't want their kid to go through it. They overdid it, but everything needs a balance. All right, so I want you to know the world doesn't revolve around you as well. And even when it doesn't, it's okay. It is okay when it's about somebody else. Give them their moment to shine. Pause for a moment and breathe and say, it's okay. You're still that great. You're still that good. You don't need other people announcing it to you to realize it. You're a great person. They did a good job. All right? When we know better, we do better. And look at me. I got on here and said I wasn't going to talk long. I'm thinking I'm going to be here 7 minutes. But like I said, when God takes over, man, it's easy, man. I think we make life so hard, but we can simplify this thing and let it be easy. We're talking at people instead of talking to people, man. Yeah, you're doing wrong. It's wrong. This is why you're doing wrong, and this is why you believe what you believe. We got to, break this thing down, get an understanding of things so we can move on and, we can heal. But that's my thing to the narcissist, That's it. Didn't dive into it like most people do, break it down. How do you defeat a narcissist? How do you survive living with a narcissist or whatever? Talk directly to them. Stop. Stop, dude. It's not about you. You're a narcissist. Stop. It's okay. Now you know how I started. Now you know why. Yeah, it did something to you when they abandoned you and nobody was there and it was just all you. And you didn't have a cheerleading section. So you had to become that all on your own. All right? You just took it the extra mile now. All right? So, take accountability for what you're doing, what you did, who you hurt, and be who you are. Be who you can be. You're great. You don't need all that. All right? Man, that felt good. Haven't had a release like that in a minute, man. Man, but you guys already know. Make sure you hit that subscribe button at STROK'D, STROK'D _ the podcast, at STROK'D, STROK'D _ the podcast. And of course, you already know what just happened to you, man. You just got stroked up. Bye.